So the United States occupation of Haiti officially begins in 1915. They had sent some people in there earlier to take the money, but the occupation started in 1915. The started with the Haitian-American Treaty, right? They were the Marines controlled everything, and they controlled Haitian finances. America did, and they could intervene in Haiti whenever they felt like it. So really, the government had some control, but the Americans had the ultimate power. So the U.S. government forced the election of a new pro-American president, Philippe Soudre Darty Gounavi, by the Haitian legislature in August of 1915. The selection of a president that did not represent the choice of the Haitian populace increased unrest in Haiti. This wasn't the first time that Wilson sent Marines into Latin America. Woodrow Wilson, to show more of his racist policies, he was determined to teach Latin Americans to elect good men. You know, since we care so much for democracy, right? And we don't care for democracy. We only care for democracy if they elect people that are friendly to our interests, which is free market policies, give us all your resources so we can suck you dry. And traditionally, that isn't how a country builds itself up. They need to have industrial revolution, and you got to put your borders up, and you got to build up your own country, get an industrial revolution, and once you've established an infrastructure, then you can start being a world player. Even then, like our steel, we got tariffs on steel, and there's also the war on drugs, prostitution, some other issues that we're not free market capitalists, so we're hypocrites. We're not really free market capitalists, and nor are we for democracy. But we don't mind murdering people in those under that guise. Bradley Manning's being tortured, solitary confinement, not having any clothes, not being able to eat that much. And after 3 years, that's got to wear on a motherfucker. That seriously does. How can we just sit idly by and watch this happen? We honor the empire, the people. Woodrow Wilson and the Eugene Debs are written out of history. You don't hear about the Eugene Debs or the Bradley Mannings. There was the Daniel Ellsberg in the Pentagon Papers. He is a hero. He leaked the Pentagon Papers, and it turned the people against the American invasion of Vietnam, the occupation of Vietnam. And he was a hero because of that, because we got out of Vietnam. And we're getting out of Iraq, but still Bradley Manning's in prison. So, okay. So, Woodrow Wilson sent Marines into Latin America before, determined to teach Latin Americans to elect good men. He sent American naval forces into Mexico in 1913 during the Mexican Revolution. American Marines seized the city of Veracruz, and they imposed martial law while campaigning. So he's invading Mexico, right? So Woodrow Wilson invades Mexico, a brown republic, a black republic. He invades Europe to attack the Germans. But he doesn't give a shit about the Armenians. He doesn't give a shit about human rights. He only cares about empire and war and conquest and expanding American business interest. So American Marines seized the city of Veracruz, and they imposed martial law. This is during the Mexican Revolution. We are so fucking anti-revolutionary. Thomas Jefferson's fighting against Haiti's revolution. Woodrow Wilson's fighting against Mexico's revolution. Are we truly for revolution? In fact, was our revolution even a revolution at all? Yeah, we got rid of the British colonialist, that was oppressing us, but we also killed a lot of Indians and stole their land. So, which of those factors was the main ingredient for why America did what she did for her revolution? In some respects, it's a revolution against the British. In other respects, it's an anti-revolution against the Indians. It's to take their country and to take their shit away from them. So that would be the reason I would think that, that's why America wants to be an empire, to take everybody's shit away from them. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. So the American Marines they seized Veracruz. Okay, while campaigning for vice president in 1920, Franklin Delano Roosevelt who had served as Assistant Secretary of the Navy in the Wilson administration. So FDR was a Woodrow Wilson man. He's the Secretary of the Navy. He boasted that he wrote Haiti's Constitution himself, and he thought it was a pretty good little constitution. So FDR wrote Haiti's Constitution. Woodrow Wilson's occupation of Haiti reestablished slavery. It threw out Haiti's parliamentary system, and it turned the entire country of Haiti into one large United States plantation, just as the Spanish and the French had tried to do to Haiti many years before. Slaves, to build a road, to do this and to do that. So he reinstituted slavery, threw out Haiti's parliamentary system, so there's no legislature, anybody to check out, to check over the, the dictator, the president, or the Marines. And, and, they was able to take it over. Well, but many Haitians resisted the occupation. They did not like the Americans being there. And in the fall of 1918, Charlemagne Perrault was a former Haitian army officer, and he launched a guerrilla war against the United States Marines to protest a system of forced labor imposed by the United States to build roads in Haiti. So 1918, Charlemagne Perrault launches a guerrilla war against United States Marines. In 1919, he was captured and he was killed by the United States Marines. Then his body, Charlemagne Perrault's body, was photographed against the door with a crucifix and a Haitian flag next to it as a lesson to everybody else. So, you don't like our occupation, we will mutilate your body, humiliate your carcass, and put a cross and a Haitian flag around you. Which I'm not sure what they're trying to say with that. Are you against Haiti and Christianity? I don't. That's weird. That's shit psychopaths do. That's shit serial killers do. They put a bug in your throat, right? Like in Silence of the Lambs. So, Democrat Franklin Delano Roosevelt had changed his mind. In 1928, he criticized the Republican administrations for relying on the Marines and gunboat diplomacy. Single-handed intervention by us in the internal affairs of other nations in this hemisphere must end, FDR said. During the first 5 years of the occupation, American forces killed about 2,250 Haitians. So 2,000 Haitians died because of the American occupation. 2,250 Haitians died. December 1929, the United States Marines fired on a crowd of protesters armed with rocks and machetes. So 1929, December, and they killed 12 and wounded 23. The incident stirred international condemnation and ultimately led to the end of the American occupation. President Stenio Vincent's comment on the refusal of the United States to withdraw the Marines in 1930 was that for just a miserable $15 million owed to a handful of American capitalists, the United States continued an unwarranted intervention in Haitian affairs. So again, it's for corporate interest, it's for money, it's for Uncle Sam, it's for business interest. Imperialism and power and control is one of it, maybe land, but it's all resources, it's all economics, to gain control of their raw resources, to gain control of a cheap labor force. So the threat of German businessmen using Haiti as a launch pad, it's ridiculous. Does that mean you have to attack any place a German businessman goes? A German businessman goes to Chile, you got to attack them, or that goes to El Salvador. We have attacked these countries, but just because a German businessman is there, that doesn't mean they're going to invade us. It's stupid to even think something like that. After FDR became president in 1933, Roosevelt proclaimed a new policy towards Latin America. And under the Good Neighbor policy, he removed American Marines from Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. So we had Marines in Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. FDR brings them all back home. The Good Neighbor policy. We're going to be a good neighbor from now on. So August 15th, 1934 is when the occupation is over. The Marines leave. And that's 20 years after the white supremacist cracker Woodrow Wilson tried to take the world's first black republic from the black people. And after he did that, the Haiti's National Guard took over, and they became death squads. So they learned by America's hardline, right-wing, Tom-Tom-a-Coot-like tactics and imposed martial law once America left. So then it descends into chaos, and then you get the rise of, I want to say Francis Papa Doc Duvier, Papa Doc. So now you get Papa Doc, fucking Papa Doc, okay? This guy's a piece of shit. He sucks. Some people like Papa Doc because when they look at him, he offers stability and order. America loved Papa Doc because he offered stability and order. So business interests could invest there, and they realized that there wouldn't be random crime or random looting and riots and whatnot. So and America's got a history of that, supporting these bloody dictators who offer, just like Saddam Hussein. We were friendly with Saddam Hussein, for many years because he controlled Iraq instead of it being like a chaotic place, politically unstable. Saddam Hussein offered a high degree of security. And actually, after the United States invasion, a lot of people was calling for Saddam Hussein to come back because there was running water and there wasn't so much violence and so many people wasn't dying. So Saddam Hussein shows exactly what America does. We're friendly for dictators for a while, then we depose of them, and it descends into chaos. But the point I'm trying to say is that Papa Doc is like Saddam Hussein in that incident. So when America invaded Saddam Hussein or Iraq, people were calling for Saddam Hussein because he was a tyrant and he did evil things. He killed the Kurds and he would kill political enemies, and he was just like very similar to Papa Doc in many respects. Had bullshit elections and political assassinations, and he had a personality cult all around him. But they were not calling for his dictator tactics, but they were calling for his security. So when people think about Papa Doc and Baby Doc's regime, there was stability there. And so people forget about the oppression and the Tonton Macoute stealing bodies. Papa Doc is responsible for 30,000 Haitian deaths. He also sold body parts overseas. So poor Haitians would die, he would cut out their kidneys and he would sell them overseas, and he'd make money doing that. He was into profiteering off of the death of his political enemies. I mean, he killed 30,000 Haitians. Papa Doc killed 30,000 Haitians. 30,000 is less than the 600,000 American deaths that Abraham Lincoln's responsible for. So Abraham Lincoln killed more Americans than Papa Doc killed Haitians. It's also less than the 1.6 million Iraqi souls that Papa and Baby Bush are responsible for. But it's more than the 300 that Saddam Hussein was executed for. So 300,000 people Papa Doc killed. Papa Doc is a voodoo fanatic. He's a Baron Samedi, Huga, a Mambo. He's big into the cult of voodoo. He made it the official religion. The voodoo was the official religion. And there's a bunch of weird shit that's connected with that. I'll talk about it later, though. Both Papa Doc and Baby Doc stole money from the Haitian people for their own personal expenses. Papa Doc murdered 30,000 Haitians. Anybody who gave Papa Doc eye contact was snuffed out in the middle of the night. That's really Papa Doc's legacy. The boogeyman. The boogeyman, they come in, they fucking steal you right outside your home. The Tonton Macoute is created by Papa Doc as his own personal Viper squad to carry out Stalin-esque assassinations of political enemies. You give him eye contact, you say something bad about Papa Doc, you're fucking dead. You'll be killed and you'll be kidnapped in the middle of the night, and nobody will ever see you, where you went or what happened to you ever again. There's a trial right now with Baby Doc for some of the atrocities, human rights abuses that he had committed during his regime. And the guy remembers the torture, and he remembers all the bullshit that had gone down. And so he has held on to that resentment and rage and anger, and now he's taken Baby Doc to court for all the bullshit that they were responsible for. The Tonton Macoute continued on under Baby Doc too, and the Tonton Macoute was a rogue independent force. They were not paid, so they had to make money through bribery and extortion. Baby Doc stole money. Anybody who gave Papa Doc, the Tonton Macoute would fucking kill him. It was their own personal Viper squad, just like Steve Conrad here in Louisville. So Papa Doc stole the dead Haitians' Viper squad. I don't think that the Tonton Macoute, but they might have unlimited control to do as they please. Let's see. So Where am I here? Papa Doc sold the dead Haitians' bodies to international organ transplant companies. Papa Doc was a voodoo priest. He had a black nationalist and populist rhetoric, so he was, wanting a black republic. He kind of stole the rhetoric of the 1960s for Haiti. He wanted to fight against the mulatto elite that was a thin majority who was controlling the majority of black people in the country. So there's these things, people also remember too, and it's something, that they're proud of.